always my favorite movie of all time.
Well, okay. Yeah.
So who decided to do that?
I mean, the producer really. And we just we went to the producers and seen we had the music that was kind of fit. We wanted to keep it dark, but like still hip hop at the same time, like you know what I mean. So we was that's how we went about like picking some of the music.
And you guys just decided to collab and be like, listen, we're just gonna make this album, make it really dark, and that's where you got that whole idea from.
No, the idea came from we was doing these freestyle series on Fridays. Friday night freestyles, and I was doing a Friday morning freestyle. And he was like, yo, let's do this project. That's how the idea came.
Oh, that's what's up. Now, let's talk about the surprise that will catch your fans off guard about this album. Can you give me a little bit of what to expect?
Well, I think
because it drops Black Friday, right?
It drops on Black Friday.
Okay.
So at midnight on Thanksgiving, after you done ate a good meal and caught the itis and, dozed off and you ready to get away from the family a little bit, at midnight you could go get the project and you don't zone out, vibe out there.
I heard that. Make sure you guys go ahead and grab it. Black Friday is definitely going to drop. Now, Fabulous, a lot of people like to refer you as the Allen Iverson of the rap game because they say, a lot of people say you're you're underestimated. What do you feel about that?
I mean,
first of all, I think that's a compliment.
Yeah. I don't really, fall into the, underrated, overrated, underappreciated thing. You gotta do what you do, and sometimes you even, things that you don't get credited for, you gotta use that as motivation to keep you pushing sometimes. So I don't really pay attention to underrated, claims and stuff like that. I just use it to,
Sometimes you can't let that take you off your focus.
Yeah, because you'll worry about what they ain't giving you credit for in your past instead of being focused on your future. As far as being compared to Allen, Ivo's Chuck is that's my brother, so it's my one of the guys I looked up to and saw what he did, and even to he brought hip hop to the NBA pretty much. He brought our culture in, down from tattoos and straight back braids and how he wore shorts and sneakers and all of that came from because he comes from our culture. You know what I mean? He's a part of our culture, so I always appreciated him for that and love him.
I feel like he integrated hip hop with basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, The Lox was on the cover, XXL Magazine, 20th anniversary. How was that? I feel like that was so dope.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
It was dope. They called us down. They was doing 20th anniversary with XXL, and they were doing 20 different covers. They wanted us to grace one of the covers. I thought that was always a good look, for the group, for hip-hop, for the culture.
And also, do you guys have your Juices for Life store?
Yeah, we got 4 of them, and a couple more about to open real soon. 2 in the Bronx, 1 in Brooklyn, 1 in Yonkers.
Maybe 1 on the West Coast eventually.
Definitely. We expanded.
So tell me about Juices for Life, because I know that's something for the community, but I want LA to know about that.
It's just a juice bar where we try to promote health awareness and more in the hoods, urban areas like that, where it's flooded with fast foods and things of that nature. We just try to put them right there, center them in there to give our people a sense of health awareness. We could get one person to start juicing or...
I think that's dope because, they say, especially in the hood, in our community, a lot of fast food places everywhere.
And sometimes people just don't know. Their ignorance is just because they don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't. This is how we grew up on that, so I didn't know the difference either until now.
They give us. You work with the tools you're given in your environment. So if you go outside to eat and there's nothing but fast food, that's what you're gonna eat. You know what I mean? So we felt obligated to put juice bars right in them areas where those kind of stricken areas in our neighborhoods that no other healthy food choices.
No, I appreciate that, and I think that's something you should bring to the West Coast. We need that too, in our communities.
Definitely.
And also, let's talk about, especially being on the West Coast right now, Fab, you've worked with, Nate Dogg, Rick Rock. How was that? You know what I mean? I can't deny it. I love Rick Rock, by the way, too.
Yeah, those are the homies, man. Nate Dogg, rest in peace.
Peace, Nate.
Nate was somebody I had watched from in the late 90s and mid 90s, doing a lot of the Death Row projects, and I always felt like he brought his vibe to, to music, to whatever kind of song it was. He brought in that Nate Dogg vibe. He brought in that melody. And I think when I was coming in towards like the late 90s, 98, 99, I was still coming off of that. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, too, we had just went through a big East Coast, West Coast beef where, but it was dying out because, it was the next generation was coming in. One of the things I wanted to do was collab with Nate Dogg because, I had grew up listening to his music and I knew that also, me being from New York and him being from LA, it will also kind of bridge the gap of what was going on beef-wise and make people see that we can now work together again.
Were you a little nervous about it too, or were you like all in for it?
I wasn't sure that completely New York would get it, or sure that LA would get, an East Coast artist with their West Coast artist. But, I think if the music is good and people appreciate good music, that shit. Yeah.
Can't deny it.
You can't deny it, for reals.
Right.
You know what I mean? And let's talk about K-Day. So one thing that I really like to talk to people when they come into my studio about this station is, I love this station, first of all. It's the first hip-hop station in the world. It was on AM. And then we came back as FM. So we really tried to, and we played the Jadakiss and the Fabulous and the Nas and the Jay-Z's and the Dr. Dre's, the Ice Cubes, the Tupacs. That's our genre of music. How important is it to protect this type of music, though?
Very important.
Very important.
Please speak on that.
Yeah.
Once, because hip-hop is a big Ferris wheel. And sometimes Ferris wheels get stuck. You know what I mean? So it's never good to be stuck in one zone or one wave for too long.
Music.
Yeah, one style or nothing. Fashion, music, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's about evolving and changing.
Evolution.
So once the wheel gets stuck, sometimes you gotta hit the motors back cranking. And I think this, not even saying that it's stuck, but it's a sound that you turn on the radio, you're gonna hear a certain sound. I think this project is a good intermission of the sound that, you know what I mean? So that's what I think this Friday on Elm Street will bring to the table for the culture.
Yeah, it comes in the same play as what K-Day does. You know what I'm saying? It gives you even a breath of fresh air, if you want to say, or just like a moment to remember what else is where things are today, where it even came from. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
And to be honest, a lot of the songs that we play, you can hear the samples in today's music.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what a lot of people are saying is that the music that we're playing now, that we had in the 90s and in the early 2000s, that's the popular music right now. That's what everybody's sampling. That's what everybody's listening to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I love the fact that you guys have this new album, Friday on Elm Street, drops Black Friday. What's going on? Like, let's talk about some of the features on the album. You guys have Future on it.
Yeah.
And then what other artists are you working with?
Future on there, I think French Montana was on there.
Dope.
Tiana Taylor. We didn't want to come with too many features because we wanted, really, if you're going to, we already collaborating together. So if you come into the project to hear Fab and Kiss, that's who we want you to get the most of when you dive into the project. You know?
And you guys worked on a few collabs together before.
Yeah,
I mean, with Keeping It Gangsta, The Hope, Cali's Don't Ever Play Yourself. So you guys have a great working relationship.
Yeah, that was one of the things about it too. We've also, worked with each other throughout the years. We've been fans of each other's music. We see each other in traffic all the time. So it was
in traffic?
Yeah, that's just like a term, when you're moving around. You know what I mean?
I gotta learn that East Coast slang. Come on.
You don't use that over here?
No, we don't use that over here.
Somebody in traffic?
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Well, yeah, that's like kind of how we was, even if we ain't together, we'll see each other in passing in traffic. And like you said, we started doing the freestyles. And then I was had this idea, people were it generated so much interest, just the freestyles alone, because it was like a nostalgic thing too at the same time. People wasn't really doing that over, the 90s beats and bringing that to dropping one every week. And people was really excited about it.
Right.
So I was like, well, if they, love that energy of us both doing that, let's try to now, since we was doing it for free, let's try to now do something with it. We can capitalize off it. You know what I'm saying?
No, and people are everybody's anticipating this, so I'm excited about this. Now, let me ask you before you guys dip, Your favorite West Coast artist? I'm curious to find out.
I think mine would be Snoop. I think
For real?
okay. You know, like you said, I was right when you just playing Gin and Juice before we got in, and I know Gin and Juice probably word for word. You know what I mean? I remember his.
I know that whole album.
Yeah, like he when he came in the game, he also like brought a different wave into it. I think Dr. Dre was genius for seeing it, because you could see some people in the studio and see that they have a different. They're just different, you know what I'm saying? I remember seeing Young Jeezy in like 05, and same way I was like, I didn't get to sign him at that point, but I knew like I wanted to work with him, and I put him on like he's like, I think I was one of his first features that ever like pulled him, you know what I'm saying? So it was the same thing, and I remember bringing him, and it was kind of like, his flow's a little different. I'm like, that's the genius in it, because it's different, and he's in his own realm, and it's real. So, you know what I mean?
And Snoop got that distinctive sound too.
Snoop got that. When his flow, it's his laid back approach, but still gangster, still, you know what I mean? Like, it was definitely, he's my favorite on that side.
Jada?
He took Snoop. I had to say Nate.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? I take Nate.
Nate
so many, but I take Nate. You know what I mean? Nate was on all of my albums except for one.
Now, I've never got to meet Nate Dogg, unfortunately. I'm a huge fan. His son is a really good friend of mine. But I love to find out through artists, because you spent time with him. How was Nate? How was Nate Dogg?
Nate was a smoker.
Yeah?
What?
Hennessy, smoke. But he was
very mayonnaise jars full of smoke. Yeah. Where no matter where he was at.
He had mayonnaise jars. This is things I like to find out.
Yeah, I liked his work ethic though. He came with Wild Smoke, Henny, but he wanted the beat up loud, and then he'd come with something incredible that you don't even. You're like, how did he think it?
How did he think? Yeah. And there's never going to be another Nate Dogg, ever. A lot of people try over here on the West, but it's just not.
No, and there's going to be people who have, amazing hooks and their own sounds and what's the name, but Nate had his own.
He had something that you couldn't. His marriage of singing and rapping was like at a thin line that I don't think nobody ever could capture.
Like it was melody, but not like he was singing.
Yeah.
Right.
It was rap singing.
Yeah.
But singing.
It's something we just never heard of before. You know what I'm saying? We never heard it until we experienced it.
Different versions of that. Like, you know what I mean? Some people would say, like, Nelly used to, like, rap sing. You know what I'm saying? But his was, like, more to Nate Dogg. Went to his whole build. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything about it.
His presence, everything that it was.
Gangster G'd up kind of vibe, and even that's what he came across at. You know what I'm saying?
It had a splash of church in it.
It did. You're right, Jadakiss. It did. It sure did.
He was gangster and church. He kept it dirty with the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real smooth in his attire and everything too. Man, Nate kept his smoke though. He was true to the West Coast with that. With his bottle of smoke, he ain't doing nothing unless he got his smoke.
Man, I appreciate your words, because I actually lived through it through your guys' experience. You know what I mean? When you don't get to meet somebody and somebody else, and you want to find out how were they cool? What was it? I can only imagine. You know what I mean? I asked Lil Nate Dogg, you know what I mean? Like, how was Pops? But when you guys actually work with him, it's
his
a whole
relationship is even probably different than fellow artists too, because we seen them in work in a different, you know what I mean? Your dad is your dad still, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
Not that like you change as a person, but
on the couch.
Watching some TV, you know what I mean? Listen, I definitely appreciate you guys coming through, man. Make sure you guys go ahead and cop it. Friday on Elm Street. It drops Black Friday. Where can they get it at? Go ahead and let them know.
Oh, you can get it everywhere. Every
digital
streaming
outlets.
everywhere, iTunes everywhere. You know what I mean?
And make sure you guys